Alright, so I think I've got this live here. Still getting used to the new YouTube studio, but let's go ahead and get this thing apart. We're doing a pretty standard rebuild here. It just wants factory lights in it, but we are going to be adding trans temp to it. So let's get in. This is a mail-in. I think it came from Ohio, so starting to get some stuff from not too close by, but yeah. Hopefully I got this stream going right this time, unlike last time where I was probably about 15-20 minutes in before it actually started being visible. Let's get these apart. So the customer's complaint on this one is that it doesn't turn all the way off at night, which generally is just a cracked solder joint. Sometimes it's corrosion. Oh, hey. So we've been worked on before. We got the black stepper motors on there. Oh, and we've been, got a little solder work on there. I didn't hit some of the common ones, but wonder who worked on this one before. Ah, that's interesting. And no marks on it to say who did the work, but we'll go ahead and get this thing all the way apart. We got some corrosion on the back too, so I had to replace my the heater went out in it, so I had to get a new one. So give that thing a minute to heat up, and just get these old bulbs off of here. Didn't even replace all of them, just replaced one or two of them. It's definitely a random time to be doing a stream, but the part showed up. I wanted to get this done because I've been sitting on it for a while, so I just went right ahead into it. Alright. Let's go ahead and get some flux down on the board. Hopefully that AC is not making too much noise in the background. I just wanted to have it on. It's a little toasty out today. There we go. Alright. Sorry, hitting the microphone. Oh, I'm gonna have to switch the tip out on this once it cools back down. Didn't realize it came with the medium tip on there. I like having the big one on there. Just finished having coffee, so hands are a little shaky here. It's always fun trying to get all these through-hole components while your hands are shaking. There we go. That'll be all the stepper motors. Oh, well, we are adding. Hopefully we don't even have to program this guy, but we'll see. Do have to get these solder pads cleaned up too. Alright. That apart. Let's get the soldering station going. But yeah, just a typical rebuild, nothing special here. So how is coronavirus affecting you at your home? Because I've now got time off work. uh, Base is closed for the night until the 30th, so definitely have time to shoot some videos here. Alright. Now let's get this fume extractor going. I know it's noisy, but I care about my lungs. Alright. But yeah, anyone else's work affected by coronavirus or infected? Yeah, that's what we had. We had 2 cases of it here in town, so that's why they shut down the base. And then Georgia's already up to like 90 cases, so we're getting up there now. It's interesting that somebody had already worked on this one. Didn't hit a lot of the common spots, and then hit some of the other ones. So, yeah. Not yet. Work's not affected, but for you yet by the coronavirus. Back home in Florida, because I'm originally from Florida, they're talking about closing. Montana. Yeah, y'all be the last ones. Nobody goes to Montana. No offense. Uh, what's in Montana other than the big sky? I think that's y'all's state motto is big sky. Uh, but yeah, back home in Florida, they're talking about closing all the restaurants. And I have a lot of friends that, they work in restaurants, and that's how they make ends meet. They don't have another job. They don't have any other options. So, interested what's going to happen for them. It's definitely not a good day to work in the tourism industry, I'd say. Yeah, whoever got this before me sure put a lot of solder on there. They seem to be decent joints, so just like to touch them up anyway since I'm on it. Guess people go up to Montana to ski, I'd assume. I don't know. I'm not into winter sports. I'm from Florida and now live in Georgia. Yeah, Glacier Park and a lot of mountains. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of outdoor recreations going on up there in Montana. A lot of hunting, I'd assume. Today I'll probably be doing my first tune with one of these where it actually goes into a vehicle. I don't think I'll be doing a video on that though, but I did do a video on writing to it, and I'll probably upload that either tonight or tomorrow. I gotta finish editing it, but I had a pipe dream once, wanting to have a little a homestead kind of setup going on, and I was thinking about moving to Montana for that. The land's relatively cheap down there. I'm gonna zoom this in a little more so y'all can see what's going on. That should be 28 should be good. All right. Try not to stick my head in the camera, but hey, y'all all get to see the top of my bald head. Yeah, yeah. It did. I was gonna say, it didn't look like it was previous owner repair on it, but yeah, that's actually really common to see that. Like almost all of these have been worked on at some point in time because they were having problems 2 years after they came off the line. Like stepper motors just failing left and right. I mean, this one was not that old of a repair because it had the black stepper motors, which are relatively newer. They're not the newest. Get some of this excess solder off of here. There we go. Relatively new, but it was probably done right before you bought it. I'd also venture to guess the mileage was probably not accurate on here because of your complaint that your average speed was so high and stuff like that. Also, could have been the engine hours got reset at some point in time. That'll cause that. But yes, Greg is the one that mailed this in for repair. I like to send links to the live streams when I do live streams. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been meaning to do more, and now that I have the time off work to do them, since the base is closed, uh, figured I'd jump on do a live stream. All right, well, that's all of those. Let's go ahead and get these spots done for the bulbs. So looks like this is an 03 board, so probably won't even have to program it for the trans temp. We'll drop the stepper motor on real quick and see if it works. All right. Yeah, 280 sounds right. It probably so there's a common glitch on these where the engine hours just reset, so that's probably what happened then. It's probably not the miles, it's probably the engine hour that got changed on there. But let's see here. Try to get some of this corrosion off because sometimes the corrosion's what causes them to stay awake at night. Let's see, do we got any other corrosion? A little bit right there. It looks like that's all the corrosion. Alright. Alright, that looks like that's all of it. Alright. A little rubbing alcohol here. Gotta kill the coronavirus that's on it. Alright. Let's drop a stepper motor in there and see if we're gonna have to program it or not. Okay, drop it in here and we'll power it up and see what we get out of the transmission now. Need to clean some of this flux off first. Alright, we'll clean the rest of that off afterwards. Give her a quick test here. Ooh, screen's not looking happy. We'll have to look into that. Alright, let's put a stepper motor on there though. Or not a stepper motor, sorry, needle. Okay. Oh, need to plug this in. Otherwise we won't get any data to it. There we go, turn it off and back on again. Yeah, we'll definitely be looking into that. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to program it. It's not programmed for it. That's fine. Figure out why that screen's so dim though. Just take a look at the back of it first. No. Turn off this fume extractor. Okay. Not seeing any cracks on there, but we'll reflow the common spots on that, and then if that doesn't fix it, we'll go after the IC that controls it all. And we'll check these too. Let's go ahead and touch those up. I'll just go through this circuit because I'm not seeing any cracks on the main little screen there. It might be I just have the voltage low on the power supply. I didn't look at the power supply. It's probably at 12 volts instead of 14 volts. That'll make it dim when it's not all the way up to 14 volts. Didn't even bother looking at it. I'll touch these up real quick and then, because yeah, there's no cracks on there. I will touch this up and then look at my power supply. I went a little overboard there. Let me grab that. There it is. Cool. That looks good. Alright, let's try that out real quick and then I'll check, see. Maybe it's just me with my power supply, I really wasn't paying attention to it. Alright. Okay. Yep, my power supply was set at 12 volts. I got it 14 volts, just like it should be. That's all there was to it. Yeah, well, hey, my work's closed. So yeah, Mr. Hess, I'm doing them during work hours because I don't got to be at work. Coronavirus. Yeah, they got our base shut down. So, Yeah, alright, let's clean this up, get a little rubbing alcohol on here, clean it up, and then we'll bust out the programmer and program it for trans temp. That's not my prettiest solder joint in my life. Let me clean that one up. Shooting for perfection here. There we go. It's art. It's funny. I joke about coronavirus, but I actually got a friend that's starting chemotherapy today. Coronavirus is not very funny to him. It's, he's actually he'd been making jokes about it before he had to start chemo, so now he's uh, thinking it's karma. It happens. Alright. Okay. So, yep, time to program it. Let's get this going. Alright. Breaking out. I'm going to zoom this back out. Back to there. Alright. Clip. Get our rotation right. Ooh. I'm going to have to take it off. We're not going to be able to do it on the board. Yep, doesn't look like we can do it on the board with these. That's the first time I tried to do the O3s. Alright, so since we're taking it off, we'll just use this guy instead. Alright. Grab the socket for it. The hot air station out. Move my phone out of the way. Let's see, I got a message a second ago. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah. Sorry, I just need to respond to this. Alright, that is fine. He's somebody I've done some work for before. He's bringing me a truck that I can try out one of these tunes and see if they work or not. Alright. Oop. Well, that's not good for it. Let's put that back on there. Have them on there relatively loose because I like to swap to this one sometimes. Let's tighten that down a little bit more than that though. That one's not a fit. Oh, there we go. Okay, that should be good. So right now, what we're doing is removing this EEPROM, so that way we can program it for trans temp. So, and get it off of here. Just keep the hot air station set to a nice warm 370 Celsius. And that's just the flux you see. Alright, let's get some rubbing alcohol, clean the flux off. Flux can be capacitive, which then... Yeah. Gotta babysit the new guy. That's never fun. Never can trust a new guy. Alright. That would be backwards. Why did I grab those? Let's go with these. Alright. Hopefully this doesn't make a terribly loud noise. Alright, let's check it. Device, there we go. I should probably switch it so that way y'all can see what I'm doing here. Alright. Huh, I thought that was for trans temp. That's interesting. Alright. I may not have been paying close enough attention. That looks like that's already programmed for trans temp. Let's get the 01, which on the 03 to 04, 01 should be trans temp, and 0. Alright, let me put that back on the board and test it. Alright. Cool that off real quick, and then we're going to test that, because that should already be, let me switch so y'all can at least see what I'm talking about. Screen and HDMI, there we go. Yeah, so this byte right here on the 03 and 04, it should be, if I remember correctly, it's 01 is trans temp and 00 is not trans temp, while on the 05 and up it's like 42, and I forgot what 42 is turned on. I can't remember what off is. I'd have to go look at one of the ones that doesn't have it. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this again. I just may not have been paying attention, or may not have been doing it right with the things. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Trans temp. Let's go ahead and get up to overheat. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. Alright. I do need to program it. I thought it was 01. I guess it's 00. We'll try it out, and if not, I'll just use a different dump. And get it off of there again. Alright. Oh, we got that screen pulled up. We'll just leave it like that. Yeah, that's a nice thing about doing a live stream is don't get to edit out fumbling around in here. It's kind of how repairs go anyways. You run into things and you go, oh, let me just do this and then do that. Alright. Drop this back in there. Make sure I got a good connection here, so we're just going to read it again. Cool, got a good connection. Let's try 00. See what we get. File. Program. Alright. Alright. Go flip over here real quick and check the chat. So I'll change this so I can look at the chat. Alright, let's see what you guys are saying. Nothing. Okay. See, is that still hot? No, it's nice and cooled down. Alright, powered up. That's what I'm trying to do. Alright, transmission. There we go, it's 0, 0, not 0, 1. It's backwards to how I remembered it. So there we go. We've now added trans temp to it. Just changing that. So yep. Yeah, I don't know. My memory told me it was 0, 1. It's 0, 0. So there we go. Shows how memory shows you. All right. So next step. Let's take a look at this next thing he was talking about. So he was saying. Sorry, my cable's going out here. I really need to replace it. All right. Saying going through some of these options, it would tell him that he was driving ridiculously fast. Let's see what his hours are. 8,000 hours. That should be about right, if not a little bit high for that number. Let me check that though. Let's do the math. All right, calculator. 281,097 divided by, what was that? 8170. 34 miles an hour. Yeah, that's about right. So I have no idea why your information center would say that you drive an average of 100 miles an hour. Because it should be 34 is about right for that. So I don't have a clue on what that's doing. All right, let's get back to this. Pull that back up. All right. Finish putting on. We gotta put some bulbs in here now. I need to trim them though. I didn't trim them before starting the stream. I normally try to do that when it's a live stream. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I had to replace this guy. The heating element went out in it, and my options were to either buy a whole nother handle for it, which came with a new heating element and the whole thing, which was $30, or spend $11, but I had to wait for it to ship from China for just the heating element. And with all of these travel restrictions with the virus, I said, you know what, I'm not waiting for however long that might take to get here from China, because there's no flights. Kind of didn't want to risk waiting 3 months like I had pretty much had to wait on this thing to show up. Took almost 3 months to get here, so I said, no, not this time. No, I normally prefer to order stuff from China, but that wait was a little too long, so ordered what was here in the U.S., which was the whole unit. Once daughter's in here talking to me. Let's see, we need to trim two more bulbs, and that'll be it. Sounds like I'm gonna have to take a quick break here, go grab some Jello out of the fridge for my daughter. She's asking for Jello, so I'm gonna trim this last one. I'm just gonna set down the headset for just a second. All right, Jello break. Alright, I'm back. Let's see here. Get this guy going again. Alright, I gotta turn back on this fume extractor. Ugh. They're always tricky once you put the stepper motor on, so I always install these bulbs and then put the rest of the stepper motors on. Just a quick, easy way. And I'm gonna keep putting my head over the camera. I get to see my bald head again. It's 4 kids, man. It'll do it to you. 4 kids will take your hair away from you. Alright. There's that. Now we need to put all these brand new stepper motors on. That's about all there is to the repair now. So now I just got to put it back together, calibrate it, and since there was a complaint of it staying on overnight, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of testing too on the bench. Probably have to do that off camera. You just disconnect some of the cables, make it where it's just the battery. I might do that on camera. All right. So there we go. All new stepper motors on there. Let's get this thing set up now. Put the new inlay in. All right. Drop that in. Make sure these lights are nice and lined up so we don't break them. Alright. If your bulbs aren't standing straight up, sometimes these little lips here will catch them and break them. This guy's a common one. These two are really common to get caught and broken. You just stand them up, make sure you don't break them. Alright, so we're going to take the old one off. And I think he said he wanted this one to cut some of the things out. I thought that was a pretty neat idea, so it's definitely a good use for these because they generally just end up in the trash. I have so many of them, so putting that in his box. And here's his new one he ordered off of eBay. It's well, new to him. It's a used one, but they're a pretty good price, I think. $38 is fair enough for one of these guys, especially when they're not all scratched up. This one's in good shape, so here we go. Now we have HD. So let's power this up. I'll disconnect that. And we'll set all these needles. Alright. I'm gonna give her. There we go. Yeah, she'll probably turn off a couple of times while I'm plugging these in because it's my cable. I really need to replace it. I've already got another one. I just haven't taken the time to trim it and get all the lights on there. Let's see here. Where did I put? There's that one, and then I gotta go open my thing and get an extra one out. Alright, let's grab an extra one. Keep them in here like leftover soup. Alright. Those are all good. Yep. Well, let's go ahead and wire this up and test the ones we can test. So then we should get trans temp, oil pressure, fuel, and coolant. Don't have a body control module, so we won't get battery movement. And then these are done straight from, let's give it to her. And that guy. So there we go. So that's those. So let's try and see what we can get out of. Nope, not gonna give it to us. Let's give it. Yep, didn't hook those up. Alright, yeah, I changed my computer up in there from that previous video I did on programming. I forgot to wire back up the park, so that's it's not indicating park there, but yeah, it's whatever. So we got a successful repair here. I'm gonna have to disconnect some of these wires here though, and just check the battery and make sure it's not doing a battery draw on it, but it's there was a little bit of corrosion back there, and that's all fixed, so shouldn't be a problem. So I'm gonna end the stream here, but hopefully you guys like this. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel so that way I can, you know, grow this channel a little bit more and possibly get monetized one day in the future. But so the main reason for wanting to get monetized is not the money, because you really don't get any money at that low of a level of monetization. You gotta make it to like 20, 30,000 subscribers to really start to make anything. But the nice thing is, once you get monetized, it's incentive to YouTube to keep pushing your channel. So once you get monetize and they start to make ad revenue because they make more off the ads than you do as the YouTuber. But it pushes it out to more people. More people can see the channel, and more people will learn. And that's the whole purpose behind this channel, is just to teach other people how to do this kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I'll see you guys in the next one.